All right. Little change of decor.
Oh, wow. We're going right into it, Max.
Yeah.
How do we feel?
We're in my building's very fancy.
This is our fancy place.
Our?
I mean, we could just claim it.
I mean, we're the only ones in here today. You know, I've read some of these books, and I never put them back. Look at that. They have a collection of Korean books. You see them?
Oh, Sarah's in Korea.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I don't see anything interesting, Max. It's not for me.
Well, anyways, so we are in the salon. It's called the salon at my building. It's a very fancy building, but
We're fancy.
yeah, you know, I like bringing people here because it makes me seem like
Dude,
I'm a fancy dude.
I've taken
you know?
on a whole other demeanor just sitting here.
Dude, you're drinking your coffee out of a regular cup, like
It
you
all
planned
happened at the
this.
same time.
Yeah,
I'm a hero.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pushed hard forever, bro.
I like Couche-Tard coffee too. Max, we have so much
We
to
got
talk about.
we got too much to talk about.
Literally too much. Last episode, last podcast, we filmed it during the open mat.
Bro. Yeah.
And dude, I know you know. Obviously, I'm more. This is more of a audience reveal. Half of it got cut off.
Something happened.
All of the questions part got cut
Yeah.
off. Mostly, it's just me and you arguing about Batman and the Joker.
Yeah, and I've come around to understand what you were trying to say.
Batman forever.
Because you're I mean, not to get back into it, but you're saying that I'm saying Bruce Wayne would still be there, but you're saying yeah, but that's not Batman.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
Yeah. Yin and yang, baby.
We're burying the
We're
hatchet.
burying that one. Okay. Very
Okay.
cool. So we do
So-
have a lot of things.
Dude, so much.
You
bro.
tell me, where do you want to start? We have the Ontario Open from, I want to say last week, but it probably wasn't last week.
Yeah.
It probably was 2 weeks ago, but we haven't spoken about
First
it.
of all, tell me the story with the scale that you have at home.
Oh my God, that damn scale. All right, yes, this is a great story. So we get to the Airbnb that we rented.
Yeah.
We're like 11 people.
Yes.
Everybody doesn't know whether they're on weight or off weight, and there are some people who are on the brink of things. And even though, dude, this is how crazy that is. I literally had like 14 pounds, at least 12 pounds to give, and I started worrying about my weight. Like it gets in your head. You're like, yeah, but
Remember JP when he woke up? fucking
exactly,
5 pounds heavier?
exactly, dude. You're like, what if like the stress got? I don't know what the hell is happening. You start thinking about the last time you pooped. Like, there's all kinds of things that are going through your head. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna go buy a scale, a
Yeah.
weight scale, so that everybody can weigh themselves. Me, I can't remember who. My God, I can't remember. I'm so lost. Anyways, I went with a couple of people, and I'm sorry to those couple of people for not remembering. My brain is literally numb right now. So we go to Pharmaprix. Bro, did I tell you how much a scale is at Pharmaprix?
I'm going to guess $34.
Dude, that's exactly what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
Guessed.
Okay.
Now guess again.
89.
Dude, $80.
Ah, that's
Bro, what are we
ridiculous.
buying here? It's not even one of those guys that like tells you weird other stuff. It's literally
Which is
just
all
the
bullshit
scale.
anyways. Yeah.
It's like, guys, $80? Are you insane? But I think they realize that the people who want it, I guess. So we buy the scale, and as I'm buying it, I'm so frustrated with the price. I'm like, we're going to use it,
We're going to bring it back.
and we're going to bring it back. And right away, that's what set the karma. I'm telling you, dude, it set the karma. So now we take it back to the Airbnb. We put it on the floor. We pull that, for those of you who are thinking this, we pull that battery tab so that the battery now, like there's like this little piece of paper that you have to pull
Yeah.
out so that the battery starts working. And now everybody starts standing on the scale, and it turns on for like 1 second and then turns off. Turns on for 1 second and then turns off. Like, some people are just getting their weight, but they're saying that's not my weight. So now
Oh my
confusion
God.
is in the air. The scale is not staying on. We're finding batteries from some other weird remotes, and we're replacing them. We're starting to think it's the type of floor that we're putting it on. Dude, we're putting it on ceramic floor in the kitchen. Nothing is making sense, and people are overweight, and people are under.
A nightmare.
It's a nightmare. Now more people are confused than before. I'm like, all right, I'm returning this damn scale. I take with me Mateus for sure. God damn, I don't remember who else. Willis was definitely with me. Mateus, Willis, and there was a third person, Laurent. Mateus, Willis, and Laurent. We go back to the Pharmaprix, aka Shoppers Drug Mart
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Ontario. We go to this lady. It's like this young lady. She's like, I don't know. Again, I'm super old, so everybody's young to me. She's like 18. She's behind the counter. I'm like, listen, scale doesn't work. She's like, all right. I'm like, but I wanna buy another one, same one. She's like, all right, I'll replace them for you. I give her the scale. We buy the new one. We're walking out. I'm like, hey, I don't trust this thing. The guys are like, yeah, me neither. Dude, right in the middle of the Pharmaprix, we open the box. We undo everything. We take out the stupid battery tab, put it on the floor. Mateus, for some odd reason, you know how jacked Mateus is. He's taking off his shoes and his socks, like he's standing on this thing, like he's like about to compete, you know. But dude, we're inside the Shoppers Drug Mart, like right in the middle, right where all those electronic caches are, and the young girl is looking at us. One by one, we're all weighing ourselves, like right in the middle of the thing, dude, like in the middle, and we're like, oh, this one actually works. This scale works. And then the girl is like, hey, we all look back, like Mateus is like, you know, standing on the scale looking down, and he's like, oh, and she's like, this one also works, the one that we gave her. I'm like, that's impossible. Like, literally, 8 men did the men thing where it's like, I'll fix it, and each one of us took a stab at it.
Yeah.
Switching the batteries around, just doing dumb men stuff, moving its placement, and none of us got it to work. And then I'm like, really? I'm like, show me. And then she stands on the scale, and then it starts working. And we're all looking at each other like, how do we tell her that it was? I'm like, listen, we literally have this on camera that it wasn't working because Nico was filming like a little mini documentary. I promise you it
That's
wasn't
good for
working.
the plot, bro.
Yes, it was great.
For his movie,
Yes.
the scale not
Yes.
working.
Yeah, it was. He loved it, actually.
Yeah.
And anyway, so she was like, look, I have the same one at home. And I was like, oh, this is
Okay.
interesting. She's like, it does this sometimes.
Ah, yeah.
I was
but
like,
that-
what? What kind of product is this?
That's a shitty product,
Yeah,
yeah.
you accept that? But she literally said, it does this sometimes. Sometimes it just chooses to turn on and off, and then other times it works really well. I was like, that's pretty crazy, but okay. So now we leave, we go back, everybody weighs themselves, and I think everybody was maybe on weight. I don't even remember. Didn't really matter. Really what mattered to me was that I spent $160 on scales.
No, wait, hold on. But you replaced it. She didn't. You didn't get like a refund for the one that you brought back?
Yeah, I think so. I have to check. And now I have this other one
Yeah.
still with me,
Yeah.
but it's from Ontario.
So you're waiting to go back?
I'm waiting to go back, going right back, returning it. Don't want this. Give me my $80.
That's good.
That's the scale. So, but the bottom line is this.
What about just an analog scale, bro? One
Yeah,
that you step
dude.
on and the wheels go?
That's the best.
That's what I have in
Dude,
my
that will
apartment.
never need a battery. That'll work forever. I don't even know
You know,
why
they
we
say
went towards digital.
that they get like uncalibrated sometimes. So
Oh, I believe
I don't
that.
know how or why, but yeah, you know, there's like a wheel that you can like spin it to bring it back to zero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, or it's like a watch. You know, like a watch will never.
Yes.
Like over time,
I
it just
get it.
loses time. Even a digital watch, apparently.
Yes.
You're like, how
Yes.
it's digital? How can that?
Yeah, I don't get it
Anyways.
either. But here's the big takeaway is that when I was buying that scale,
Yeah.
I knew I had bad intentions. I knew I was going to return it.
Yeah.
And karma bit me in the ass. And it cost me an hour of my life. I should have just been like, I don't want this $80 scale. I'm finding another one. Found one that I was willing to keep and that
Yeah.
you know, but because of karma, because I knew I was gonna screw the company, I got screwed.
Yeah, maybe, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
I believe in that stuff.
Who knows?
Yeah, but I believe in it. So yeah. Anyways, we're at the Ontario Open. Since we're on track over here, and it was an experience, dude. Like for everybody, the people who were competing. You know what it is? It's that venue. It's like it's in a hockey arena.
It's a dope venue.
Yeah, you know, like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not like a small hockey arena.
Yeah, it's like a you know, stadium seats.
Yeah, it's like a farm team for one of the pro teams maybe
Yeah.
or something. Like it's a big venue. It just makes things like it adds a little layer. The nicer the venue,
Yeah.
the more you feel something. Like if things get a little crazier, when it's rinky dink, you're kind of like eh. But when it's like
Yeah, you feel like a star.
yeah, there's a weird thing there where you're like, all right, we look it up. Nobody cares about you, but you're like, yeah. And I mean, we had some really good performances, like from the team. some shocking in both ways, you know. Those who did well, obviously Coach did super well. He won in his division, and then he got screwed in the absolute, and he really did get screwed.
Yeah.
Chloe, she won first place in her division. She finished her
Amazing.
finals by armbar. It was freaking amazing. Salim did super well. He won. Salim and Callum both did the same thing. They won their first 2 matches and then lost in the third. But honestly, like going deep in a bracket is a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing if you haven't.
Especially with their brackets.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
There's some big
But
boys.
so when you do those tournaments, is it maximum you're going to be doing 3 matches or no? You can go up to 5, I think, right?
Salim, I think, was
Yeah.
either 5 or 6 to win.
6.
Yeah, dude. These adult brackets are like deep
Okay.
and long, and it's hard, man. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell? It's crazy almost.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, anyways, Salim and Callum did the same. They got deep into their brackets, but ended up losing, and both of them ended up losing in their third match. But I mean, amazing performances. Willis in his first match was in a ref decision situation, and the ref kind of went with the other
Yeah.
guy. Honestly, I'm not being biased. It was a mistake. Like the ref.
From the ref?
Yes, it really was. Like, inarguably a mistake.
You know,
dude.
the same thing happened to Rebecca.
Remind me?
Well, she was in close guard. She held close guard. She tried a couple of sweeps. She tried a couple of chokes. The entire match went through that way. Then at the end of the match, the ref gave it to her opponent,
Yes.
who was just in close guard. Like, dude, if you're holding someone in close guard and they're trying to get out of the guard but they can't, I mean, you're winning that
attacking.
fight. You're winning that fight.
Dude, that's exactly what happened with Willis. I don't remember that other scenario, but that's exactly what happened with Willis. And he even like threatened like a solid threat with the X choke. Like it was dude, the guy didn't even get to his feet.
That's the
You know,
thing,
like,
dude.
come
Man,
on.
I won matches like that. I think it's common at white belt a lot, but I won a match like that at blue belt, and you and Willis were fucking yelling like, hip out, get to your side, try
Yes, I think I remember that.
try
match,
this, try
dude.
that, and you
I
thought
think it was in Ottawa.
no, it was in Montreal.
Oh.
I did win one like that maybe in Ottawa too, but at the end of that match, you thought I was gonna lose. Like that's why, like in my mind, I was like, I'm not letting this guy out of my guard.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna try to choke him. If there's an obvious sweep, I'm gonna go for it. But other than that, like,
You know,
I'm winning here in my
I
mind,
believe you that I thought that.
Yeah.
Because there was a time where somebody told me if you're on top and it's 0-0, ref's gonna go with you.
Yeah.
If you're the guy who's just over the other guy, 0-0, ref's going with you.
But inside someone's closed guard
Yeah,
is not a
that's-
position of attack.
Yeah, no, you're in the defensive position for sure. So
The only thing you might be able to do if you're bigger than the guy is like some guys get Ezekiel sometimes.
yeah, that's the dumbest
know what I
and
mean?
worst. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a pool back there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Get into the pool. And so, anyway, so Willis got the screw job.
Yeah.
Mateus also in the absolute got the screw job.
But you know what? I think the thing that we have to remember is that if you're holding someone in close guard, it's a 50-50.
Dude, yeah.
It's the ref's decision. It's the ref's opinion. I have won matches
that
like
way,
that. I think one. Actually, I only won one. The other one was I held the guy in close guard for the entire 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and at the 30-second mark, I got flower sweep and got 6 points. Which was fucking.
That's amazing.
And then I did, and then he even re-guarded. He got to mount to half guard, but it was too late.
Too
bro.
late,
It
buddy.
was too late. Man.
Too late, bud.
Yeah, yeah.
Too little, too late, man. The best
Yeah.
wins.
So yeah, man, I think that's it. You can't hold someone in close guard and figure that you're gonna win.
Yeah.
You might not win.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a tough conundrum. So that Willis, am I missing anybody?
The strategy then would be, if you want to hold close guard until the last 30 seconds, and then you gotta explode, man. You gotta do something. You gotta do
You gotta
something.
have a serious threat.
Yeah.
Either it's a serious threat of a sweep or a submission. Ooh. Whatever the serious threat is, the ref has to perceive it as you almost accomplished something, so that he can either give you an advantage or mentally, at the very least, be like, hey, something happened.
But it's
there.
fucked up that you can lock up an X stroke. All right, maybe your first grip isn't deep enough and it's not going to work. But if you lock up an X stroke and the guy's posture is completely broken down and you're holding it there for, you know,
He almost had it.
That seems like
It's something, I don't know what maybe the ref was tired, but it's like, dude, what can you think of from the other guy's perspective that was ever done? He couldn't even get out of close guard. Like, how do you give him any points?
The refs do get tired though.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Man,
a long day and it's a
those guys are
hard day.
standing on their feet for like what, like 8 hours or more
it's
sometimes.
Tough. It's really
Just
tough.
like looking
And
at
you're-
jujitsu, fucking.
you're focused.
You know.
It's like,
Well, that's the thing. It's impossible to be focused like that for 8 hours. You know, like eventually you're gonna get drowsy. You know,
yeah,
you're gonna miss some
things.
shit.
Yeah, it's tough, and that's why like coaches need to be yelling, "Where's the two?" Like, but we don't. There wasn't even coaches in this scenario, so you weren't allowed to sit in those seats.
Really,
Yeah, it's only athletes.
athletes were coaching athletes.
Like there was no coaches,
There was no seats.
no seats beside the TVs, just people in the stands. They didn't want that whole scenario where there's like a million people standing back there.
That's kind of what makes
Dude, I'm all
tournaments
for it.
fun. Though.
I'm all for Yeah, listen, sorry. I'm all for it in two different senses. I still think that the people in the crowd can yell to a certain extent and you can hear them.
Far away.
It's
at
a
that
bit
point.
far, yeah. But I'm all for the, like, it just doesn't look professional when there's 100 freaking people standing there. Like, it's a tough one. You know, but like one coach, but it's just, there needs to be some sort of system. The system needs to be better.
Yeah, they do bracelets sometimes.
Yeah, they do the
But
bracelet.
the thing is that the jiu-jitsu community is so tight knit that like
yeah.
you know like
Exactly.
everyone just kind of lets their friends in, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's chaos. You
And
know.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you had Willis, blah, blah, blee, bloom, bloom. Laurent had his first match. It didn't go well
Are
for
you going
him.
to give belts pre-belt ceremony?
We've been talking about it a lot, funny enough. I'd like to, but
Honestly, I think it would be kind of cool to get a belt out of belt ceremony. I think that's how I got my blue belt, actually.
that's amazing. But listen, we don't usually follow that belt ceremony thing. Like, it's just, if it's close by, it's awesome. But we're not going to hold somebody back because, oh, next belt ceremony's in 6 months. Well, what if the guy, you know, I don't know, wanted to compete or wanted to, like, he needs to start that. 6 months is a long time.
I wonder what's cooler, a belt ceremony where everyone is there and
That's
everyone
the
is clapping for
predicament.
you. But the thing is that it's not special if everyone's getting a fucking belt, bro.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Like if you hand them out when you know, when there was an accomplishment or you see a big progress and you hand it out at random.
I know, dude.
Dude, that's like a slot machine, man.
get
That's
it.
why
Yeah.
that's why slot machines are so addictive because
Yeah,
you never
yeah.
know when you're gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then everyone's surprised, everyone's clapping at the same time.
Yeah, it's
bro.
amazing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're definitely leaning in that direction. So we had those scenarios happen. And now like there's my situation that I ended up losing in my first match. I ended up losing 4-2 to this how I want to describe, like a master's Terminator. For me, it was man, his energy was Terminator.
Yeah, short, stocky, but a lot of cardio, bro. You guys were in scrambles. I mean, dude, I could watch that match honestly so many more times because it's a match where so much happens, man.
Yeah, a lot
It's
happened.
Constant movement.
Yes, and now even when I think about it, I'm like, ugh, it burns me inside to have misplayed it, if that's the word. That I'm like tactically, like I strategically, I made some mistakes.
I feel like you
got carried away.
You got carried away by the wave.
Yeah, I did. That's exactly it. You know, and the only reason that, you know, again, I'm speaking about like in depth here is because those are learnings that I think are important. And I can only talk about it from my perspective, but that is one of the biggest lessons. I got carried away by the wave. It was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're doing this. Let's keep going. Let's keep getting crazy. Let's keep scrambling and let's
Yeah.
get. And, dude, 3 minutes later,
Dead.
dead. Zero.
And you guys were both also not going to give away any points. So anytime there was anything close to a
Guard pass
sweep,
or a guard pass.
it would
Mostly
be
guard pass.
it would
People
be
were getting into turtle
yeah,
fighting.
it would be endless shrimping. I mean, like, isn't there? You did that. Like he was about, and you just kept on tripping
Until I got out of bounds.
Dude, the energy
Yeah.
it takes to do a whole match where
It's brutal.
you're fighting for
So definitely, there's because, and I said this then, and I'll say this again now. Even had I won, I was like, I kept saying this to Wafa and Rose on the drive back, and Willis. I was like, we both lost that match. Like, we both lost that match. The outcome doesn't matter. He won, I won. Dude, at the end, he was spent, and I was spent. And whoever was going into the next match was all, the next bracket was the semis. Me and him were the only two to do a quarter. They were all fresh. It was a loss. No matter who.
Yeah.
If it was me that was by luck going to advance or him, dude, we both lost.
and that is what happened to that guy.
And that is what happened. He lost within a minute or two max. And it was the same kind of match. He just didn't have the juice. The guy went in like kind of like for that typical knee cut, exactly kind of what I was doing, where like we had the collar sleeve grip, but he just had no more energy to fend that guy off. He passed, and then he straight collar choked him, which is exactly what I was trying to do. So we both lost. Yes, okay, clearly he beat me, but we both lost. And had I won, I would have lost in the next round. I definitely would have not have gotten gold. And that's because I made a huge tactical mistake by getting carried away with the wave.
Yeah.
That was a big one. The second big mistake that I made after kind of really processing it for a while is, I kind of stopped doing jiu-jitsu at one point. In a weird way, you can get lost in these scrambles, but if you have so much confidence in your jiu-jitsu, you can even maybe give something up, literally. But start
Yeah.
getting into more jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But instead, it was like a cardio game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like, I didn't want to say it because I don't think it's a popular opinion to have, but like, for energy management, let's say, I don't know if any professional would actually think that, okay? But for energy management, like, if you get swept into a guard that you're comfortable playing and you just know that, like, man, this is my position, this is my guard, I'm going to sweep him back and I'm going to be in a better top position
Yes.
because I know this area,
Yes.
would that maybe be a better option than shrimping till no end to
100%.
to not give up those 2 points?
There's a confidence in your jiu-jitsu at one point, and I mentally should have known that. He was making, again, all the credit to him, but I know from my perspective, he was making huge technical mistakes. I should have known, Abby, settle down, dude. Like, give him a little bit. It's fine. Now that we're doing jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
he's gonna get lost. You're going to be able to get the stronger leveraged position, like you were saying. Maybe I get into the mount, maybe I get into where now it's going to be a real problem. I stopped thinking that way, and I was just fighting. I was fighting him for every inch, when I think sometimes you can concede a little bit for energy and just knowing with the confidence in your jiu-jitsu to be like, in this position, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
And instead, I didn't want to give an inch at any moment. But that came at a cost. I was spent at
Yeah.
the end of the match, bro. I
Yeah.
was out, and I was super upset. So on top of that, like, it's like a double factor when you're kind of pissed and you've spent a lot of energy. It like hits you kind of twofold. And so that was the second big learning is, at one point you have to decide, like, hey, I need to start doing jiu-jitsu. So where is my best position? Okay, time's ticking,
Yeah.
but where's my best position? How can I get there? Okay, it's going to cost me 2. Can I make that up? Like, do I have the confidence to
Yeah.
make that up?
Yeah.
Instead of,
Yeah.
dude, it was
Yeah.
that for
I think-
6 freaking minutes.
I think of that sometimes. It's like you were saying that about Coach the other day, where he will strategize.
He's so tactical.
He will run the clock.
Yep.
And get a sweep to get the win. You know.
Yeah. And he even said in the last match, in the last tournament, he said, I went for a straight ankle lock against somebody because I was like, he was going for the home run. And he's like, in retrospect, I should not have done that. He's like, I was going for the big win, but like I had the position. I should have just kind of maintained it. I was up by an advantage. I should have maintained it. He's like, but because I went for the straight ankle lock, I gave him a chance to sweep me. He swept me, and then I was on the back foot. He took 2 points. And he had to kind of come back in the match. But he literally was like, even though it's available, he had to make the smarter decision Even though he had a chance at it, it was, what's the guaranteed win? That road. Be tactical.
Yeah.
Go for the guaranteed win.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I don't know why I was thinking about this, but like, actually, you would know this. Hockey players that get a lot of points.
Yeah. In what sense?
Don't they?
Like, they score
They
score and get assists?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure not all their goals are incredible. I'm sure like they're just in front of the net sometimes, you know, and it deflects off him, and they're like, there you go, that's one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter how you score, as long as you score.
No, 100%. Like, you in every sport, you put yourself in a position to win. You put yourself in the place where you know, because I'm here, I have the highest likelihood of getting the outcome that I want.
Yeah.
So if you're depending on the position you're playing in hockey, like, but if you're the center and you're in front of the net, it's like, hey, put yourself in the place where you have the highest likelihood of disrupting the goalie, or getting an assist, or getting a whatever.
That's
tactical
for me. That's what makes sense to me. Like, that's what I like doing. Like, I don't need to be fancy, you know. I just need to win.
It's true. I mean, that's how coach thinks.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to win. Like, we're playing a game. He sees it for what it is. We're playing a game. This is the sport, and in the sport, I am trying to win. So if you're telling me, like, the way that I have to win is by submitting you, he'll change his thought process.
Yeah.
But right now,
well, we're playing by the rule set.
We're playing by the rule set.
This is the rule set.
Yes.
It's like, dude, I'm sure even like, you know, the biggest generals, you know, see it the same way.
I believe this. But how would you say, like, what do you mean? Like, what would, like, in war?
The way you win doesn't matter. It's winning that matters.
It's true.
I think so. I mean, you know, again, it's like, it's not fancy. You might not get a highlight reel, but at the end of the day, it's the guy that's on the podium that won, you know, with the gold medal that won.
Yeah, I think anything short of that is just ego.
Like, dude, I'm sure there's top level athletes that, like, we know, like GSP, dude. He was a prime example of that.
He really was.
A lot of his matches he won because he took the guy down. He ended up in people's closed guards sometimes, and he's like, I'm on top, I'm landing shots.
Yeah.
And you're not able to get up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you there for 5 minutes. I don't give a shit. I'm winning.
Yeah. No, he was super smart at being able to do, like, that shoot wrestling thing, which is apparently something in a way that he pioneered.
Yeah.
Or it was like, he knew how to, like, get you to the ground, and then it was like, okay, I won that round. You know, like, I gave you a couple of shots on the stand-up, now you're on your ass, I won that round. And then, like, he could always go to that tool to kind of win tactically.
You know who else? Mayweather.
Oh, yeah, he's a tactical king.
The best.
The best, literally.
Never
best.
lost a match.
Never lost, yeah.
You know, I mean, would you say that he's the best boxer?
Arguably, he's in the runnings, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I guess so, right?
But I mean, I know what you mean. Like, is he the?
He's not the most exciting.
Yeah, like, I know you're saying, like, is he the exactly? Is
but
he the most
wins all the time.
He wins. Is he the best? His record will give him a pretty strong argument. But is he the best? You're kind of like, no, you don't want to say it.
You don't want to say it.
You know, it's this weird thing. Like, but literally, the guy hasn't lost. You know, he has every accolade on the planet.
Yep.
He's beat everybody. So I don't know. It depends. But so that's the second big lesson is, like, hey, like, I should have been a little bit more tactical with my energy. And ultimately, like I said earlier, we both lost that match.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't even freaking matter. It's like you're trying so.
Yeah.
You said a general. It's like the general is trying so hard to win a battle, at the cost of the war.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, so what? You win this match. And honestly, I rewatched the match so many times. Like, I did win the match. I got screwed in points.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't blame it. It happened really fast. But
What happened?
well, the back take that the guy got on me was not a back take, and then I also got an extra sweep that I just saw. Like, I let the guy get up on his feet, and then I pushed him back down, and the ref didn't catch that. So it would have been 4-4, and I would have won by my advantages. But, bro, we're talking about, like, the ref would have had to been really on his game to see it. Like, I only saw it after watching the match like 10 times. So, fair is fair, but
You know what I'm thinking, bro? You're like a general in the First World War who was just like, keep on throwing troops at the machine gun,
Exactly.
and eventually we'll overwhelm them.
That's the exact
And
feeling.
they never overwhelmed them. They
No.
just killed. You know, there was one battle where a general lost 60,000 men in one day.
Jeebus.
That was like, I think, so before that,
That's how I feel.
yeah.
That's how I feel.
The armies were 60,000 men. An entire army was 60,000 men. I mean, like, that was it. That was your entire army. You had no more men.
Yeah.
And one day, one of these fucking
Nut
guys
jobs.
thought, like, we're so many, we're going to overwhelm them. And he lost everyone.
Dude,
That's kind of like...
that is so my my
that's your thing.
mindset. Dude,
you
100%.
You went all out because you thought you would overwhelm them?
Yes.
But the
And
guy
then-
had a machine gun, bro.
Yeah, dude,
There was-
exactly.
yeah.
Even when there was one moment in the match where I had everything and the ref reset us in the wrong position. Dude, my mindset in that moment was, you know what? Let him have it. I'm throwing so much at this guy, he's going to wilt. That's why I accepted. Because in my head, I was like, he's going to wilt. But he was the machine gun.
Yeah.
So
And
I wilted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it was the beginning of the match, eh?
It was like, 2 minutes into the match. So it would have been a really big, different outcome. But I'd rather have had this outcome and get all of these lessons than had won and never really looked at it with this fine comb in order to kind of like really take the lessons. Because if I win, dude, most of the time I kind of just, it's an ego thing. It's like you're just kind of like, I won. I don't have to look back and revise what happened.
But also, your other matches didn't go that way.
And,
This
yeah,
guy had
this
so
guy
much
screwed
energy.
a 15-win streak, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he smashed my win streak. I thought I was gonna go blue-purple without ever losing. He really broke my heart. That was a goal of mine.
But, dude, you know what? Let's just say hats off for this guy, because a gas tank like that,
Yeah,
plus the guy's,
he was older than me.
no offense, the guy's body shape didn't seem like he should have a gas tank, dude. This guy was burning carbs, dog.
Yeah, but he had a freaking chest, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, pff,
I know, but
couple of abs. I was like, what the hell?
But that's what I'm saying. He was a thick guy. You would
Yeah.
think that carrying that muscle would burn you out.
Yeah, fudge. I don't know how he made it. He was in a drive that was like, there was something bigger than jiu-jitsu happening. I said
Yeah.
this like a few times where it's like,
Yeah,
you need
he had
this.
anger and
Yeah, like it was
intensity.
like, I'm not letting go, dude. I
Yeah.
need this. Like I think we weren't fighting for the medal.
Yeah.
It was a funny kind of moment. So ultimately, I busted out there. We take the lessons, and we'll come back stronger.
What is
stronger the next time.
your highlight lesson in a nutshell?
Well, it exposed the fact that my conditioning isn't where it's supposed to be. It exposed the fact that, I made some tactical errors in terms of like throwing the kitchen sink at this guy and being like, hey, like,
Not thinking of your
not-
next matches.
not thinking of the next matches, not thinking like, yo, your reservoir is at empty. So yeah, exactly. It's saying the same thing there. That's a silly thought,
Yeah.
like it's just silly. So the conditioning needs to be worked on, even positionally. Like we were saying, like sometimes I should maybe concede and just put myself in a really good position to be able to time things and be tactical and have the confidence in my jiu-jitsu that, no, this position, I'm going to end up here or I'm going to end up here. That's going to be much more favorable for me than these scrambles. And also settling in. Like there was a bunch of moments where I could have settled in and like it was like little tweaks, like when I was attacking him when he was turtled a few times, I made some jiu-jitsu mistakes. Like I just wasn't doing the right thing. And those notes have already been checked. Like I already know exactly what to do. And funny enough, it's what we've been covering in in the classes that I teach over the last week.
Yeah.
So like I'm really making sure that I know now what to do in those scenarios. So we took some tactical lessons, we took some long-term lessons, which is like the conditioning, and we also took kind of like some jiu-jitsu lessons where it's like, hey, there's a couple of things that I can refine that could have helped me big time, especially attacking the turtle. Ugh, I made some pretty big mistakes there, dude. Like I'm trying to go for broke by getting the collar choke and like choke the
Yeah.
guy when he's on my leg on the single, and I'm not addressing that. So he kept putting me down on my bum, which is taxing after because you're on your bum and you
crazy, bro.
can't let him pass. Like it's a whole thing. Well, I mean, he wouldn't have got points for the pass, but I can't give him the dominant position, so it was a thing. So that was the Ontario Open, but honestly, super awesome to have been with the gang. Super awesome to have been with even the few who didn't compete, like Fabrian, Chewy, Wafa, Rose. Like just having that crew with us, dude. It's such a powerful crew. Like we had such a good time.
Really?
We really did. Like
Did you guys go out or you stayed in?
No, because this time the tournament was Sunday,
Yeah.
so
Oh, okay.
forcing people to sleep in on the Saturday.
Okay.
And the last time, like we had a chance to go out
Yeah.
because we
Big Apple.
yeah, exactly, the big Toronto Apple.
Yeah.
So it was fun. We had a good time. And next time we'll have again, it's not the I call it the monetary result, which is the medal, but just the experience, leveling up in my jiu-jitsu. For everybody, it should be the same. I think it was a really good time.
Yeah. Want to do some questions?
Let's go. But bro,
right.
before you open the box,
Yeah. Oh.
there was a question.
Yeah. The
that
Rose
we
question?
covered. The bros question.
The Bros.
That we covered last time, and now it's actually on my phone that's recording. So we're gonna have to go off of memory.
Yeah. What was it? It was. What was it?
So it was something along the lines of creativity.
Oh yeah. Creativity vs fundamentals and
Is there room to be creative
yes. I don't remember as a white belt or
as a white belt? You know what, bros? We're gonna rewrite the question, and we're gonna do it the right way. For
Yeah.
now, we'll go to the box.
Yeah, let's go to the
I don't
box.
think we have the mental fortitude.
man. We got so many questions, dude. All right.
All right.
I'm reading this one. If you guys freaking complain about my lack of reading education,
They need to.
you
They
can
need to
go.
work on their grammar
Yeah.
and their syntax.
That's
These
it.
guys. It's not
Blame
your
it
fault,
on them.
Max.
Blame it
Good
on
luck.
them. All
Guys,
right.
you really have to work on your grammar.
What is the best BJJ position, John? Sex.
Is the word?
Oh
sex?
my God, for sex. What is the best BJJ position for sex? It's the leg drag.
Sure. I don't really even understand the question.
What is the best BJJ position for sex? SEX.
I literally don't ever want to even mentally think of it.
All right.
I'd rather just literally not mentally think of it. I'm going to leave that in the void.
Okay. Well, I think it's a leg drag, so there you
Good.
go.
There you
it out.
have an answer. I believe it. Figure it out,
Yeah,
people.
they say you shouldn't chase belts, but getting promoted feels really rewarding. Do you think there can be a more productive approach slash message that is more balanced than that?
So I guess they're asking us to comment first on the statement, or is that what it is? Because like, what's the?
Do you think there is a more productive approach slash
I understand.
message
I understand.
than
I understand.
is more balanced than that?
So I guess they're questioning the belt system, right? It's like saying,
Right.
like, I know getting promoted feels freaking awesome.
Yeah.
This person is saying, is
Yeah.
there a better system though? Because, they say you shouldn't chase belts, but getting promoted feels really rewarding.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with chasing belts, man. Like, it's good to have a goal, a tangible goal that you can set your mind on, and then get to it. A milestone. Like, everything's like that. Like when you go to school, right? You have an exam, and if you pass it, then you go to the next whatever, right? It's like
Building blocks.
it's just a thing that you can point to, a goal that you can point to, that you can work on to achieve. I mean, I love it. It's like training for a marathon. You have the day of the marathon. I mean, like that date. I feel it's the same thing with a belt. Like if I start, I mean, but then again, it's like, I don't know. It's like there's a time for that, and then there's a time not for that. Like right now in my, it depends where you're at in your jiu-jitsu. Right now in my jiu-jitsu, I'm not chasing a belt because I rather just chill and have fun, honestly. It doesn't mean that my jiu-jitsu is not getting better. It's just mean that I'm not putting that pressure on myself. But I definitely get wanting to go from white to blue, because you can be a really, really, really good white belt, that you're basically a blue belt, but the person who just started jiu-jitsu doesn't see you that way, because in his mind you have the same color belt as him. So just to like differentiate yourself from the brand new guy who's been in it for 1 week while you've been doing it for almost 2 years, I would want a blue belt too.
It's so sound. I never ever just thought about that last piece.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Actually,
From white to blue,
yeah,
I get it.
I can get it too, you know, but really, what is a belt? Like, what does it actually even mean? What does it mean?
it means exactly what it means, bro.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
mean-
Like,
it
if
means
we were
your
to say
level.
it. Yeah, so I would say it in the way of like, it means you've achieved a certain
Yeah.
level of mastery.
Yeah, so
We're not
chase
saying-
that.
Yeah, so that is what the belt represents.
Yeah.
You know something.
Yeah.
And then when you have a purple belt, you know, we would say, wow, he knows even more and he's capable. And then brown and then black. It's kind of, it almost is like knowledge / application.
Yeah.
Those two things we're looking for when you wear a certain belt.
Yeah.
That's really what the belt represents.
Yeah.
So really, what are we chasing? That is what we're chasing.
Yeah.
We're chasing, and Francois said it really well at the last belt promotion. He was like, don't, and we've, it's funny because he said it, and then he said, he said it because I said it the year before.
Okay.
And I said it the year before because I heard Matthias say it a previous time. So everybody is kind of repeating everybody's words, and it's a common sentence in jiu-jitsu, which is, don't chase belt, chase skill acquisition. And the belt will come. Because really, it's the same.
It's the same thing, yeah.
It is the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a thing that you just mentioned, which is the recognition
Yeah.
that you're looking for and the differentiator
From your
that you're
peers,
looking for
right?
from your peers
Right.
and from everyone. But if you make that the goal, there is a weird thing that happens. The island that you're swimming towards becomes a different island. If the goal is the belt and not skill acquisition, dude, there's this little ticking time bomb that's
Yeah.
going to go off at one point in your head when you're like, I'm not this person. I'm not this person. Like, a white belt just tapped me and I'm a blue belt. Damn, I'm not this person. And then you lose sight of what it is because you're trying to protect the belt. You're trying to protect your status,
Yeah.
which is, I'm better
No,
than you.
but you should be getting your belt when you are that belt.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yes, you're right. If you get like, if you get, man, I don't know, bro. If you get your blue belt and you're getting tapped by new white belts, then you just weren't ready for your blue belt yet.
I mean, yes and no. Like, you're a 150-pound blue belt, and I put a 200-pound, no, not even, 190-pound brand new white
That's
belt.
true.
Dude, that guy can tap you.
I got tapped by that fucking,
There you go.
who's that? Dude, he's like, I think it's Clément with the beard.
Clément's the man.
Is that him? He's big, right?
Yes.
Dude, he told me that it doesn't register sometimes. He's like, oh, there's not a lot of 200+ pound guys like me. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You're like you're a UFC heavyweight.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, dude, it's like, man, I can do what I can do to fucking anyone, but sometimes it's just over the overwhelming force.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
So what if you're chasing skill,
Yeah.
which is what we should be chasing, then your conclusion there is going to be much different than if you're defending your belt.
Yeah.
And there's a subtlety
You just
there
need
that
to
is so
know-
powerful.
It's okay to chase the belt as long as you know that what you're supposed to be doing to get your belt.
Yeah, it is. You're chasing skill acquisition,
Yes.
which is
In
chasing
order
the
to
belt.
get your belt.
Versus
Yeah.
chasing the belt just to be like, hey, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to get my blue belt? What do I have to do to get my blue belt?
But even then, if your coach tells you actually what you have to do to get your blue belt, then now you can chase
Act on
the
those
skills
things.
again.
Yeah, but it always has to come back to skills.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to point out, it's so subtle, but there's a mental shift that happens when instead of thinking about like, dude, I will do anything to get this blue belt. Change those words. I will do anything to get better at jiu-jitsu. You will get a blue belt. There is a thing, you know, in like Mediterranean cultures, like this is a big flaw in Mediterranean cultures.
Yeah.
Parents will say something like this. They'll say, and this is the joke. It's like a saying in Arabic. It'll be like, you're a young kid and they're like, oh, I can't wait for the day that you graduate high school. You graduate high school. Oh, I can't wait for the day that you graduate university. You graduate. Oh, I can't wait for the day that you get married and have
Get
children.
married, yeah.
Hey, you get married. Oh, I can't wait for the day that you have children. Oh, I can't wait for the.
It's never enough.
It's never enough, and you're not even thinking about the process
Yeah.
there. You're not even thinking about like the experience and what you're gaining.
I hate that, bro.
You hate that. That is, in a weird equivalent, a mindset of someone who just wants to. And there are these people who pressure even coaches trying to get belts. And it's like, you're thinking about this wrong. You never once came up to me
Yeah.
and spoke to me about, hey, my technique. Hey, bro, I'm not a saint, but I promise you on my life, I never, ever asked for a belt. I never thought of it. I didn't care. All I wanted to do was be
I asked
better
for
at
a belt.
jiu-jitsu.
I asked for a, oh, dude.
I'm not
I-
saying that you're wrong to
did
do
that.
it. I'm saying that
Yeah.
you're falling into a trap,
Yeah.
in my
I
opinion.
mean, I am, dude,
It's a trap.
I for sure am susceptible to these things. Yeah.
It's a
But,
tough thing. It's a but again, I do also recognize recognition. And that you want to be, hey, recognized for your hard work. And it is nice to get this recognition. And it does feel amazing to be one of the people in the room that's wearing a higher belt. I recognize that as well. That is part of it. But shield yourself from too much of those thoughts of chasing the next outcome, the next outcome, the next outcome. It's the people that say once you have $1 million, you're going to want $10 million. And none of this leads to happiness, you know, because you keep chasing these funny outcomes. You need to be in love with the process, in love with skill acquisition. And the more you do that,
Yeah.
dude, people actually just start throwing those things at you. I'll say this. I said it last time. Like when I got my purple belt, dude, I got it at another random gym on a random day that I
That is
had no
weird.
clue
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
It just happened. And I honestly believe it's because I never chased these things. And they were just like, hey, this kid deserves this. People will go out of their way to be like, you deserve this.
Yeah.
We will get it
It's
for
a-
you.
it's
even
yeah.
in this
Yeah,
weird
that's-
scenario
that,
where
you
you're
know,
at this
yeah.
random gym.
That's it's about attitude sometimes, man. It's almost like when you want something too much, you're actually driving it away because your energy is wrong.
Yes,
Right? It's like
you're
it's
not
like it's
doing
like
the right
being
thing.
it's like being too needy to a girl. You know, she'll be like, "Oh, get the fuck away from me, dude. You're
100%.
disgusting." You know? What I mean?
Yes, and for any partner,
It is.
in any relationship, as soon as somebody
Yeah,
starts
yeah,
being
yeah.
that way,
Yeah, it can be a
it's
friend-
just
a
the
guy
wrong
friend or
thing.
whatever. Yeah.
It's like, get to know me, or do you understand me? You just want what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not. This is not
Nah,
this.
it
you
feels
know?
gross.
It does.
Yeah, you're right, man.
It's a very
It's-
difficult thing, but
It's a hard balance, man. Like you can get caught up sometimes in life.
that's fair.
Chasing the wrong thing and not understanding why, because you're like, on paper, I'm doing everything I need to do to get this, but you're still not giving. Dude, you can turn into a bitter fucking human
Yeah,
being
you
if
could.
you're chasing the wrong things in the wrong way.
You're right. And there's the. What do you know? What you know? What do you know? You're saying like I deserve this. Okay, you think you deserve this, but what do you know? Who are you?
But
to-
there's some guys who actually do deserve it, but because of their shitty attitude, you don't even want to give it to them.
so then they don't
even-
deserve it.
Even if no, well, no, hold on.
What are we saying?
If we're talking about skill acquisition, right? Someone might actually have the skill acquisition, but their attitude is so shitty
That's part of it.
that you're looking over it because you're like, bro, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah,
Bill,
you need
know?
you need to be humbled. Well,
Yeah.
humbled. You need that ego needs to come down. So no, you don't deserve it. You don't.
But if it's about skill, okay, listen. There's
Yes,
some
I
people
understand.
that
I
there's
understand.
there's some okay.
You're correct in pointing this out. If
Yeah.
it's about skill acquisition,
Yeah.
when you're acquiring skills,
Yes.
even then there is an approach and an attitude towards acquiring
Yeah.
skills. It's not just
That's
like,
it.
can you do this?
Here's the thing. If that guy who has the wrong attitude gets that belt anyway, that belt isn't going to take away his bitterness. He's still going to be a bitter fuck. Now you're just a bitter fuck with a blue belt
And now you're a bitter fuck with a blue belt,
who's insecure because maybe you feel like you didn't,
and
Yeah.
you're in a gym and you're wearing a blue belt. I know it's silly, but blue belts are not everywhere, and you're now a leader in this gym, and people are going to look to you, and your next belt is purple, and these things, the reason, the ego reason why we chase that belt is because we want to take up place in the room. In the sense, like I say that in the sense of like, recognize me. And
Yeah.
if you, there is a difference between 1 week white belt and 2-year blue belt.
Yeah.
You have any questions? Like you want to take up more space in the room. You want to have a little bit more authority in the room. If you're not ready for that, it's like promoting somebody to a job post that they're not ready for.
Yeah.
It's like, are you a good ambassador for
Yeah.
this gym? Like, and that now, how much does that weigh in? Maybe 10%, maybe 5%. Not much. It doesn't weigh in much because skill is the major determining factor.
I mean, at the same time, it's like if you want your gym to have a good gym culture,
yeah.
then maybe you shouldn't be promoting people who are assholes,
Absolutely. Well, they're going to get delayed a little bit more until you can't anymore.
Yeah, because
Because you just can't.
Yeah.
So, but that person,
they just become too good.
They become
but
too
they
good.
never learned the lesson of not being bitter.
and deep down inside, they know. They know. Everybody knows deep down inside to a certain extent how much we shield ourselves from the blind spot that is like our big thing that we have to overcome. It's been told to you. It's been mentioned to you frequently. You just don't want to hear it. Coaches will tell you. I can give you a bunch of different examples. We'll go through, let's say, the gambit. The gambit would be, I'll sit somebody down and I'll say, okay, show me these things. The person who thinks that they need to be a blue belt but are lacking technical ability,
yeah.
My approach is always going to be the same.
Yeah.
You're lacking technical ability? Perfect. I already know that that's what you have to work on. So I put you in front of me without you even knowing, ever. I say, hey, put me in your close guard. Do this, do this,
Okay.
do this, do this, do this.
Let's do this. Let's do this for our white belt listeners, okay? Let's give them like a gift on a golden platter, bro. Okay? If someone were to ask you, Abby, what do I need to know to get my blue belt? What would you tell them? Technical wise.
I would say a few things. I'd be like, hey, mechanically, I use that word very precisely, you need to be able to do all the basic submissions from the basic positions.
Okay.
So let's say hypothetically,
let's name some.
I'm going to be...
That's what they want, you know?
I'm within your close guard,
Yeah.
and without any resistance, show me that you can do a mechanically sound armbar, a mechanically sound triangle, a mechanically sound X choke, and an omoplata. Kimura. If you can do those things, just with no resistance, just show me that you know where to grab and it's not silly, and that you can actually get me to honestly tap, you can check that box.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go through all the escapes with you. And I'm not
Okay.
even going to go into like the deep detailed escapes.
Okay.
I'm going to say, hey, your bottom side control, show me your escape. Show me your framing escape. If you can show me your framing escape, you've checked that box. I won't even go to like knee escapes and crazy underhook escapes. Like, I just want the basic framing escape. You can do that properly, you've checked that box. Mount, you need to show me that you can properly do a mount escape. The umpa, which is just the bridge and going over, and the elbow escape. You can show me those two things. Again, under no resistance. I just need to know that mentally you know them. Why? Because one day a white belt's going to ask you one of these things.
Yeah.
They're not going to ask you under resistance. They're just going to ask
That's
you to
all fair.
teach
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah.
So mount escape, side control escape. I also want to know that you can escape close guard, standing up.
Yeah.
So show me that you can stand up from close guard and break somebody's close guard. A typical back escape If you can do that, now we've kind of covered. I don't even care like the body triangle and all of these back, more complex
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
just the basic ones. We're going to go into some open guards. The major open guards, I just want you to know one sweep from each. One sweep from De La Hiva, one sweep from Spider Guard, one sweep from collar sleeve, like nothing too crazy. And that you understand what X guard is. X guard is complex. I get it. It's funny with the feet. Dude, but when I say it, or single leg X, you need to at least be able to get into the position.
Okay.
If you can add, you're going to really wow us if you can actually do a sweep from those positions. But for the most part, if you have one go-to sweep from every open guard position, like the main ones, De La Hiva, Spider, collar sleeve, like you're good. Like, and again, under no resistance. You just need to be able to show me. Then we get into like guard passing. You need to understand what I'm saying when I say Toriando, leg drag. Like, you just need to be able to know, again, in drilling, you need to be able to do those things. Without getting into even more detail, I feel if you cover 80%, you don't have to get 100% on this exam and know all of these things. But if you can just demonstrate that in drilling you understand these things and you understand the vocabulary, like when I say, hey, put me in De La Hiva, you're still not thinking about how to place your leg and what to grab, you're on your way. So anybody who's really lacking technical, I'm going to put them in that weird
That
test.
that was a great list, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it could be longer. Like, we could start in adding things from close guard, like hip bump sweeps and whatnot. But honestly, if you can just do those things, because those are the
Yep.
things that white belts are going to come to you and ask, and you're
Yep.
going to just know, mechanically, just know. If you can do those things, honestly, you're well on your way towards blue belt.
And I feel like everything else is kind of a personality thing, right? Like what?
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah, what does your game
Lend.
What will you go deeper in? Because what works for you, basically.
Yes, 100%. Based on your body type, based on your, De La Hiva isn't for everybody, et cetera, et cetera. And so when somebody who's belt chasing, you start to feel that pressure, like, okay, and he's lacking technical ability, you say, all right, let's do these things.
Yeah.
And then the person realizes, holy crap.
Yeah.
And they do. It hits them.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at them and you're like,
That's a good lesson, actually.
it is. It's like, dude, I want to give you a blue belt.
Yeah.
But you're asking me in a weird way subtly to give the blue belt. But you're not doing your part.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we've covered these things every week in class. Dude, do your part. You can't do an armbar from freaking close guard or whatever it is. Like, that's not on me, bro. Like, that's not on me. It's on you. Take your journey into your own hands. If you have any questions, we're all here to support you. And so for the technical person, that would be the thing. But then there are other people who need to let go some of the energy. You know, the spaz energy. You can't give a blue belt to a spaz. That's a real thing. This happens a lot in our community, in jiu-jitsu, I mean. Somebody who has spaz energy, you cannot give a blue belt to, because a spaz can hurt people. A spaz cannot control themselves, and they start hurting people.
I feel like that's a lot for our gym, because like in other gyms,
There's spazzes everywhere.
they must promote. No, but I mean, you don't want to promote a spaz, but in other gyms, you think they hold back spazes?
I think so. I mean, like, you have to be able to let that go, that part of you go a little bit. I mean, if I tell you in drilling to do an armbar to me and you're trying to break my arm because you can't control your energy,
It is kind of dangerous, yeah.
you can't control your energy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
do we?
Yo, what time is it, by the way? I gotta go.
What time is it?
10.
Wow, flat.
Yeah.
We did it. Well, I'll put the finishing bow on this. So, if it's a managing of your energy, you need to find a way to manage your energy. So what does that mean? It means you need to try and find calm. If you're not finding calm, again, this is the work you have to do. You're not in a fight every time that you're in these matches or in these drilling sessions. Like, we have to work on that. That's part of your personal journey. And if I see that that's part of your personal journey, you need to overcome that. It's just as strong as technique. Managing your energy is just as strong as technique. So that could be a reason that somebody needs to. So it could be, and I say this is the last point that I'm going to make. It could be that anybody can do whatever they want. They don't have to compete. But there is a part of this journey is competing. You signed up for jiu-jitsu, part of this journey is competing. I'm not asking you to win, I promise you. I'm just asking you to do it once in your life, because if you get too far in this sport and you've never competed, I will have failed you as a coach. Believe me, people will be like, you never competed? And you know why you never competed. You know why. There's a fear there that you just have to overcome. And if you can overcome that, you are overcoming a huge hurdle, which is probably for some people the reason they started jiu-jitsu. There's a lot of people that tell me, hey, I'm like, why do you want to do this? And they're like, you know, self-esteem or confidence. Okay, you think I forgot that? And now you're telling me you don't want to compete? That's why I'm going to hold you to that. This is the thing that you need to overcome. This is the specific part of the journey. It's like you need to face something here. So we got to do it. And so it could be anything for everybody. Again, this is a small percentage of it, aside from the skill acquisition, but these things do come into play. Homie, let's get you to that beginner class.
I gotta go.
Bang.
I gotta go.
Let's rock. And hopefully this will not have been cut off.